Welcome back to the official second Weeb Wednesday on this channel. I am posting every other Wednesday anime related content, and every Mondays is still manga related content. If you enjoy either of those or both, I would really appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button. And yeah, I watched a lot of anime for this video for you all. New seasons of anime that released this winter 2025 season. How and why, and just, oh my god, there are so many. Like, I'm not talking about the ones that have a second season. Like, I still gotta check out Apothecary Diaries season 2. If you haven't seen my last Weeb Wednesday video, it's all about what anime I watched in 2024, and that one was on the list. Yeah, I just cannot believe the output. I mean, like, they print a lot of manga every month, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised that the anime has also increased since I was like voraciously trying to like watch all the anime that was coming out when I was younger. But oh my gosh, I feel like there used to be like 10 anime that came out on like at a new season. And it has doubled, like easily doubled, and that's just, oh my gosh. But yeah, so there was a lot of interesting ones I watched, and some good, some bad, some in between. So all that to say, let's get on to the video. I have broken these up by 3 categories. Definitely don't want to continue, might continue, definitely want to continue. So yeah, we're gonna start from the bottom and work our way to the top. I also tried to give myself some criteria to judge for each episode. I scored the OP a max 2 out of 2 points. If you have a boss OP, like I'm gonna give you a couple more points. If you just have an okay OP, you don't get as many points. And then animation, which I said, like, I never scored below a 2 out of 3. Like, I can't help it. The animation was really nice to look at. Like, even the ones I wasn't a fan of, their animation was pretty good. Like, I had no complaints, really. So, but yeah, that's a possible 3 out of 3. And my desire to continue watching said anime was a possible 5 out of 5. Altogether gives me a total out of 10 possible points. And I think these pretty accurately correlate to the categories that you will see them in. But yeah, a surprising amount got really good grades. I was really like drawn into a lot of them, I can't deny it. But I did weed them out and only picked a core, like, small handful for the definitely want to continue. The other ones I just hope to continue, maybe. I also need to give a huge shout out to my friend who gave me his Crunchyroll password. You're awesome, thank you, because I was thinking of signing up for like the week trial membership for free, but most of these were on Crunchyroll, and it was just so nice to be able to just like watch them all on there and totally screw up the algorithm. But anyway, I will note if they were not on Crunchyroll and if I had watched them somewhere else. So there are a few outliers that I didn't find on Crunchyroll. So first up, the anime I am definitely not continuing. Womp womp. I understand if you like it and if you want to watch it. It's just not for me, and I'm not going to really spend a lot of time on these, let's be honest. So first up, we have Headhunted to Another World, from Salaryman to Big Four. It's fine. It's a fine premise. It's another isekai anime. It's fine. But from my point of view, I'm just not interested. I am not interested on a work mode isekai. Like, this guy comes in like, yes, I will sales pitch to you. It just made it like seem so like, wow, that's what he's bringing to the table. Alright, alright. I mean, overall, it was just kind of boring to me. And that's because it just wasn't for me. So, yeah. I overall gave it 1 out of 2 OP. Nothing special there. 2 out of 3 animation. Like I said, it was still good. It looked good. I'm not gonna say it didn't. But my desire to watch, a 1 out of 5. So the total came to 4 out of 10. And yes, that was the lowest scoring anime first episode I watched. Yeah. Moving right along. We got Promise of Wizard. So honestly, I just saw a bunch of cute anime boys and I was like, I mean, these aren't always like something I go for. Like I'm thinking Diabolic Lovers and like a whole bunch of other ones I just can't think of the names of. But there always seems to be one of these, right? With like a reverse harem type of plot. I don't really vibe with it. I don't know why. But yeah, this one I didn't vibe with either. Is this one girl that gets transported to another world. We have a lot of isekais, and I mean a lot of them this season. I didn't even watch them all. I think there were a couple more isekais. I was just like, I can't handle anymore. I can't. And maybe some other anime in general I missed. Let me know in the comments below what other anime I missed. Anyway, our second isekai, and this one is a girl being transported to another world as their quote-unquote savior, implies she can use magic or something. For all intents and purposes, what we know is that she is a normal-ass human person, right? So I know that these isekais don't always treat like you getting sent to the world with realism, right? She just looks into their eyes and she trusts them. Okay, but like, what are you really gonna do? Like, I would be like, I don't know if I can help you. I was just a normal human in my world. Like, how am I a great mage or something, savior to you guys? Like, what am I supposed to do? But she's just like, okay, I'll help you. It's so fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. Her reactions were nada. And you know I hate a boring protagonist. And she was the most boring of protagonists. She just gave me nothing. And the cute boys do not entice me to keep watching. So yeah. 1 out of 2 for the OP. Again, very basic opening. Nothing really excited me. 2 out of 3 animation. The animation was still nice. I mean, the setting was really like the fantasy world setting looked pretty and the boys looked pretty. Like I said, I can't take points off there. But yeah, again, my desire to watch more, I gave a 2 out of 5. Like, if a friend wanted to watch it with me, okay, we could put it on. I'll vibe, it's one of those things. But like me on my own, I know I'm never gonna watch any more of this shit. Sorry. So in total, it gets a 5 out of 10 for me. It's just your basic bitch. Next up, we have I'm a noble on the brink of ruin, so I might as well try mastering magic. I thought Liam, our protagonist, was a likable enough protagonist. He starts off pretty young. Do you want to guess? It's another like kind of isekai. It's like more of a reincarnated one, which is like a subsect of isekai. I'm thinking he's from the same world. They really didn't go into it much. Other than he was older and now he's a kid. And he's a part of a noble family, so that means he gets to study magic because only nobles and hoity-toity people in this world can study magic, I guess. So he's super excited, and he just spends the whole episode honing his craft, and some mystery man pops in and helps him out, and it just feels very formulaic. Like, here, learn a new spell. Ooh, activate a new skill. Ooh, hone that ability. Ooh, let's go make money from this. Like, I don't really care. Like, in the end of the day, it does not do anything for me. If that sounds like something you'd like or have liked in the past, you might enjoy this one. I did not enjoy this one. Like, I didn't dislike it, but like, I was just like, okay. That was that. So yeah, OP, opening, again, nothing, 1 out of 2. Animation, still a 2 out of 3. It wasn't bad. And my desire to watch is a 2 out of 5. Again, if someone wanted to watch it with me, there was nothing that like irked me about it, but it's very low on my desire to watch anymore list. And so it also gets a 5 out of 10 in total. Next up, we are moving away from all things isekai, thank God. But we are moving into another branch that I saw quite a bit of, and I'm not really mad about it. Obviously, I haven't been like zoned in, zeroed in on the pulse of what's been going on with anime. But it was refreshing to see how many romance anime were getting a new release this season. Yeah, it was just like, wow, this feels like early 2000s where we're just getting like a bunch of romance. Obviously this one wasn't really my cup of tea, but that's okay. There's more, don't you worry. So this one is called I Have a Crush at Work. This is one I couldn't find on Crunchyroll, and I actually ended up just looking it up, like the title, and being like, where to watch? And Daily Motion came up, which I think is just a pirating search. Don't tell anyone. So I just watched it. I just clicked on it and I just watched the first step. That's what I do. Okay. So this one was cute. It was a workplace romance. But it was like we're secretly dating in the workplace, and I don't know why, but it stresses me out. Like, I know I could never be in a secret relationship because like I would just want to hold the person's hand or like get kind of close to them, and like you're blowing your cover anytime you do something like that. So it's like you got to be on the down low and pretend like you don't care about each other, and it's just too much. I don't like it. It gives me a stomach ache, especially their like over the top reactions trying to like play off anything, and it just made it seem like you are gonna get caught in 2.5 seconds. Like, how is anyone like looking at you and being like, oh, that's a totally normal reaction and a totally normal way that you just said that right now? Because it's not. It sounded so unnatural. It was so awkward and painful. So yeah. The cute moments with them together in his apartment, alone, where they didn't have to pretend that they weren't in a relationship, those are cute. I don't like the premise. I don't like it. And this is like the only one we got, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, that is actually working adults, which is just a shame because it was my lowest rated one, just because of that. But anyway, 1 out of 2 OP, 2 out of 3 animation. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's cute. 2 out of 5 desire to watch, which leaves us with another 5 out of 10. All right, our next romance is Medaka Kuroiwa is Impervious to My Charms. I have actually talked about this as a manga. I read the first volume of the manga. This first episode of the anime followed pretty much exactly that. It's cute. I just feel like I'd just rather read the manga. Like, the anime isn't giving me anything extra or new. Like, I'm just someone that like usually kind of prefers my romance in manga form, unless it really feels like it plays into the animation and feels like it's adding something, I guess. Yeah. I was kind of bored while I was watching it. To be fair to it, I had watched like 19 other anime, 20 other anime before this was one of the last ones, but yeah, I mean, because I already knew what was happening, my mind would just wander. So I'm like, yeah, this isn't adding anything if I already know the beats of it. It doesn't leave me excited to watch it instead of read it. So yeah, 1 out of 2 OP, 2 out of 3 in the animation department, and a 2 out of 5 desire to continue. Again, if like a friend wanted to continue watching it, I'd be like, sure. It's harmless enough. It's cute enough. It's just not what I would say would be like the top romance choice for sure. But there's so many romances, and we're following that up with another romance. Don't worry, this is my last in the definitely won't be continuing category. and that is Anyway, I'm Falling in Love with You. Oh my god, have I seen this manga everywhere. Everybody posting on Instagram. It is like Sign of Affection in the clear moonlit dusk. Those two I am not a fan of, and I see it all the time over my Instagram. Everyone goo-gooing gagaing about it. No offense if you like it. I just like it's hard when you don't like something and so many people do, and it's like, why? And this is one that I kept seeing people post about as well, and I kept not getting the manga. I don't know, the covers, don't get me wrong, beautiful. Same with the other two, which is why I picked those two up, but I just was feeling that same vibe. And I was right, if the anime is any indication, which I'm positive it is. Like, it's probably note for note what the first volume of the manga is going for. And yeah, no, not for me. This had the best animation out of these bottom ones for me. Otherwise, it would have gone further down on the list, essentially, because this is like the closest one to maybe I'll continue it, but really I have no desire to continue it. Like, I should have actually counted down my desire to continue it. And it's because I don't like the way that the male protagonist is. This is like a romance plot between childhood friends, it feels like, and there's 5 friends, 1 girl, 4 guys. I already can tell there's probably going to be a love triangle. It doesn't matter. And then obviously the guy who already like basically confesses to her in the first episode and pushes himself on her. Oh, it's so romantic. You can try with the moonlight and the water in the bathroom. She is secluded. She is being cornered, and then she is being forced a kiss on. That is not romance to me. Like, I don't care. Like, maybe when I was 12, it would have made me go, ooh, it's so romantic. But as a 32-year-old, no, it's just bleh. Ugh. I mean, luckily they're the same age, so it's like, okay, fine, whatever. But it's like, you're supposed to be her friend, her childhood friend, and you're gonna pull this shit? Like, I just felt like it was crossing too many lines. And yeah, nobody really stood out. Obviously, like, if you have 5 characters, it's gonna be hard to like make them seem interesting, and we really mostly only get characterization of her, and she actually did seem interesting. She wanted to be a mangaka and doesn't really care about romance. So I thought, well, that's cute. And then this one childhood friend has this crush on her. Okay. But he just like takes it from 0 to 100 too quickly for me. So it did not give me those warm, gooey feelings. And yeah, 1 out of 2 OP. OP still wasn't anything for me personally, but the animation was a 3 out of 3. I thought that animation was really pretty. It kind of gave me Aoharu Ride or Blue Spring Ride animation quality vibes, where it's got a slightly sketchy watercolor effect to it almost. Yeah, I did really like it, but my desire to continue watching is a 2 out of 5. I really should have just been meaner and give it a 1 out of 5, because I'm just so angry at it. I'm so angry, like, ugh, it just gave me like such a icky feeling. Well, I mean, honestly, like, if push come to shove, I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world. I would, roll my eyes and watch some more. So it got a 6 out of 10 in the end, begrudgingly. And that leads us to the next category. Maybe I'll continue it. I'm not sure. Kicking things off, we have Emeku MD, Dr. Detective. So I always like a little bit of a twist on Sherlock. There's a lot of iterations of Sherlock, modern takes on the character that I really enjoy. And this one is playing into one I really enjoy, and that's House. So if you've ever watched House, this is just a female House. She is really good at diagnosing patients and based on their symptoms, and she has very keen observation skills, and she obviously studies a lot, so we know she's really invested in her craft, to the point where when a patient comes in and dies on the table, but he has a mysterious giant bite out of his leg and blue blood, this doctor is so intrigued that she doesn't care that her patient's deceased. She just wants to solve the mystery. So she goes and connects with the detectives on the case. And that's kind of like where we leave off in episode 1. I don't think it, like I said, it's a bad premise wise. I think that makes sense. Like a female Sherlock doctor in the vein of House MD, and the cute, capable enough Watson, and then an added extra girl, which I don't know, is that like two sides of Watson? Who knows? But you know, she got little lackeys and stuff, but he's especially, like, it seems to be number one lackey, at least for now, hence her Watson. But yeah, I think if you like mystery centric anime, this could be a good one. Like I said, it ends before the mystery part is really delved into, and I haven't continued on to it didn't strike me enough to really want to continue on, but I feel like if I was in the right mood for mystery more, I might be tempted to go back and continue it and continue it, and how well the mystery and the solving of it is crafted, because that's important in one of these type of shows. So yeah, for now I was where it leaves off. Kind of gave me crazy Psych energy. I don't know if anyone's watched Psych, but I love Psych. The deductions that she goes to, that she leads the police investigators to, is very much very Shawn-esque, crazy out there deduction. That's another really good Sherlock adaptation. So I don't know if they're playing homage to it. I don't know if they know what they're doing with the house and the Psych kind of references, to me at least, as someone who's a little bit of a I don't want to say mystery crime junkie girl, but like a little bit. I've seen most of the old ones. I've gotten out of love with them in recent years, but if you mention any from like the early 2000s, 2010s, yeah, I probably watched them. So I was intrigued by the premise, but not completely sold on it, if that makes sense. Maybe it's just because I've seen too many. I've been there, done that. Or whatever reason, I just wasn't in the mood and it wasn't gripping me. So it's a possible that I could go back to. OP was nothing special. 1 out of 2 opening. Animation 2 out of 3 was good. It was fine. My desire to continue is the 4 out of 5. I do want to continue because it's different, because it harkens back to things that I have a real love for, which are those like silly crime mystery drama type shows. But I'm torn. So yeah, overall I gave it a 7 out of 10. Next up, we have possibly the greatest alchemist of all time. So I will say, though it was the most, I guess, like traditionally predictable isekai premise of guy accidentally, I guess, gets summoned, and so did like a whole bunch of OP abilities and sent into this new world, and is now honing his skills and stuff. His character overall, like his reactions, were fun and enjoyable. So I wouldn't be opposed to continuing this one and following Takami's journey. Like, obviously the OP gives you all these gorgeous girls that are gonna join up with him. And if you wanted a traditional isekai, I didn't think it was a bad start to it, and it has a likable protagonist, in my opinion, who's capable, interested in learning more about the world and his abilities, and has no interest in being a hero, which undoubtedly he will become, but you know. All I have to say, animation was good. Yeah, overall, just, you know, it's more cliche or predictable, I guess, but like, that can also be comforting. And so yeah, I could see myself going back to this one for like a nice cozy anime to vibe with. Yeah, 1 out of 2 OP. Again, nothing special. We haven't gotten to any openings that I like was really enjoying. 2 out of 3 animation. Again, thought it was nice to look at. And 4 out of 5 desire to continue. like I said, I would continue this. Like we're getting to the ones I really didn't enjoy in one aspect or another this first episode and would consider continuing it. It just all depends on my moods, what, I end up watching. And you can let me know in the comments below which ones you think are worth me continuing to watch too, and weigh in. And maybe your comments will have an effect on which ones I do decide to watch or leave behind for this winter 2025 season. But yeah, let's move along. We have I Want to Escape from Princess Lessons. So this is the first one on my list that I actually did watch 2 episodes for. There is something, so like I said, possibly the greatest alchemist of all time has that very traditional isekai vibe to it, but I can see where that can be cozy and enjoyable to just put on and like, like a popcorn film. You just like enjoy it. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't have to be like the highest end of animation and like ingenious storytelling to be enjoyable, obviously. This is what the equivalent is for me. I Want to Escape Princess Lessons, I can see being my popcorn type movie. It was so cheesy and stupid, but the main protagonist is so funny and likable. I watched the second episode because I was enjoying her. She is just miserable. She was taken away from, her more relaxing life, I guess, as a noble, to be put into the castle, secluded, it seems like, from her family. I mean, her older brother shows up more than her parents do, but basically secluded and forced to participate in these grueling, horrible princess lessons where she's just chastised and verbally abused and made to cry because she's like a fucking child. And yeah, just it seems awful. So when she thinks that the prince has found himself another woman, she's not annoyed, she's overjoyed, and she's like, goodbye, losers, I'm outie. She goes to the countryside and like one of the like country summer homes these rich people have, and she just hangs out in the village and she like makes friends with all the village people and she's fishing. Oh, that's the one downside on this one. The animated animals are awful. Those horses, I was just laughing at them. Like, what happened? Everything else looks fine, but your horses look like shit. The fish also look iffy, but the horses, when they like gallop, that was bad. It looked so wonky to me. But yeah, I really liked Leticia, however you say her name. I thought she was just fun, outgoing, personable, miserable, in her princess lesson duties, but outside of that, like a really happy-go-lucky girl. And then of course we have the prince, who, because I watched episode 2, but obviously from like the OP and like the vibe, I could tell he wasn't actually done with her. I wasn't sure the direction it was going to go, which also led to me wanting to watch the second season, or the second episode, I mean. But yeah, he was just trying to make her jealous. What the fuck, dude? Like, that was so stupid. Oh, men are dumb. But yeah, he really just didn't want to annul their engagement. He really likes her. You can tell like they met before when they were like kids or something and she don't remember, but like it's super cliche, it's super like done before premise wise, nothing new here, but it's just endearing and cute. And like obviously, like I think the prince is a bit much. Like he's like, I still want you as my fiance, just kidding, I won't have anybody else but you, babe. And she's like, I mean, she thinks it's cute and charming, but like, I don't want to be a princess. But I like their actual like relationship when it wasn't putting the pressure of like princessness on top of her shoulders. They actually seemed like cute and like sweet together enough. Like she didn't seem like disgusted by him himself. She seems whatever, fine with him, but like doesn't want everything that's attached to him. But yeah, I feel bad for her because I want her to have her freedom. But I'm hoping like some arrangement can be made or something because she deserves it. She deserves to not have to take those awful princess lessons. It was just a quick, easy watch. 1 eye, 2 OP, 2 out of 3 animation. I feel like if I was to give a 1 out of 3 animation, it would be for those disastrous monstrosities of horses. But it was like one small detail that wasn't good, and the rest of the animation was fine in my opinion. And my desire to watch was a 5 out of 5 because obviously I watched the second episode. So it brings us to a total of 8 out of 10. And next up we have another romance. See what I mean? There are so many romances. Anyway, it's Honey Lemon Soda. So I've also read some of the manga of this online, and then I also bought the first volume in print when it came over and read that for a video on here. I think it's a really sweet one. Like it's again like a very meek, mild protagonist. So automatically I feel like, oh, I won't like this one. Like even just like starting the anime, I was like, well, okay, the manga first volume won me over again when I reread it, but the anime can't. Like I can't like actually like want to keep watching this. Like she's so meh. But it's done in a way that's really good and reminds me of Kimi ni Todoke, which is an older shoujo anime, but really harkens back to that. And yeah, it's just really it's good, even though she is very quiet and won't stand up for herself, and she's working on it. She's trying harder to better herself. There's actual like steps and progress and an attempt being made here, even in this first episode. And I can appreciate that. Like, yes, she's not my perfect type of protagonist, but she's a good protagonist. And even in the anime, it won me over again. It's freaking cute. It's so freaking stupidly cute. Ugh. Blech. Makes me vomit how cute it is. It just makes me smile. And I'm like, why? Why are you so cute? But yeah, 2 out of 2 for the OP. It's cute. It's cute little bop. 2 out of 3 for the animation. It's pretty. Again, it actually wasn't to me as alluring and like different, I guess, as Anyway I'm Falling in Love with You. For some reason it just didn't catch my eye quite as much as that one, but I still of course thought the animation was pretty, so I give it a 2 out of 3. And my desire to continue is a 4 out of 5. I could see myself continuing this. I don't have like the strongest desire to continue this, but I mean, it was pretty sweet. So yeah, that gives us a total of 8 out of 10. Damn romance. We're not done yet though. Boys and girls, we have another romance. And this one also reminded me of romances I've watched in the past. And that is I'm Getting Married to the Girl I Hate. Oh my god, this one really reminded me of like old school tsundere type romances, my bread and butter growing up. I really loved the like over the top tsundere girl. It's really cringe. It's really embarrassing to admit. I identified with her. I thought I was a tsundere. It's my really weeby confession of the day. Kill me now. Kill me. Kill my younger self now. We're gonna get like a looper situation, go back and murder my tween self. Oh my god, it's so embarrassing. But yeah, so I really liked Toradora, like Full Metal Panic, got them tsunderes. I don't know, there's so many that came out in the early 2000s that was like that type. Comment below your favorite tsundere girl if you had one. I'd love to hear about them. But yeah, like it definitely gave me the vibes of early 2000s romance with that rom-com edge, over exaggerated, like I can't stand to be with you vibe. It just was like, oh my gosh. I wanted to dislike it because the girl protagonist did start off kind of annoying and grating and just whiny, and I was like, yeah, see, I don't really like tsunderes anymore. They are not my cup of tea anymore. Like this is obnoxious. She's annoying. I would hate her too. Like, get off my ass, girl. Um, but this one made me laugh, and it made me really get into the characters by the end of the first episode. I was like, oh my god, they were so cute together. I couldn't find this clip, okay? I couldn't find it. But the best line is when these asshole grandparents sit their grandkids down and are like, yo, you guys are gonna get married. Cause like we didn't get married when we were kids, so like we're gonna force that on you. Stupid ass premise. So early 2000s. So fucking dumb. But you know, obviously they're like, no, I'm not gonna get married. And then the granddad to the guy protagonist opens up the door and he's like, if you don't marry this girl, you won't be the next like head, like heir of this family and their like business and stuff. I'm gonna make that dog my next heir apparent. I don't know if he'll make a good heir apparent. And the kid's like, no shit, it's a dog. I don't know why it cracked me up so much. It's so stupid. It's such a cliche rom-com, okay? I am not denying that, but it tickled my goddamn funny bone. And then they're forced to live in the same house together. Just, I don't know, it's 2025 and I feel like it's 2005. Like I went back in a little like time capsule and it just, it tickled my funny bone and made me giggle and yeah. OP, I'm giving it 2 out of 2. I really like the OP. I watched it twice just to make sure I really liked it. I just think it's like a cute little bob and it shows like little snippets of their progression and it's so cute. 2 out of 3 animation. Nothing special to me per se, but you know, obviously very well done as is. And my desire to continue watching is a 4 out of 5. I will not give in and say it's a 5 out of 5. I refuse to admit that it would be a 5 out of 5. Desire to continue watching. I've not watched on in this one, okay? But I have thought about it more than others. So it's very sad. Anyway, total 8 out of 10. Next up is a more unusual isekai, but yes, we are going back to isekai. I swear to God, half of these, if not more than half of the new anime that came out was romance or isekai. Take your pick. You want one or the other. Then just a few outliers. Yeah, so we have Welcome to Japan, Miss Elf. This one just looked cute. I thought it was just going to be like this elf, you know, travels to Japan, either like an alien species or like somehow like teleport dimensional hops. I don't fucking know. But you know, that's what I was thinking. I didn't realize it was an isekai. So this dude goes to sleep, he goes into a fantasy world, and that's just been happening. Like that's just his life. And it's like he accepts it, he enjoys it. I'm like, okay. And but then this one time he ends up getting kind of like killed, I guess, in that world. But he hugs this elf girl as he's, you know, quote unquote being like burned to death by a dragon, and then wakes up in bed with her in the real world. But the elf girl, she's so cute. Like she's giving me a little tsundere vibes too. But like her reactions to Japan in this world is just so me and so like adorable. Like she's not at all freaked out by it. She's just like, wow, it's so cool. It's such a big city. Oh my god, this food is so yummy. Oh my god, the cherry blossom. Like that's me. That's me when I'm in Japan. But like she's just enjoying herself and it's just cute, like taking a stranger around to experience different aspects of Japan. Like that premise sounds adorable and cozy to me, so I'm all for it. It obviously seems like it's going to keep going back and forth between this fantasy world, and I would say that that aspect of the anime is where I'm not on board. Like I could leave the fantasy world. Now that we've come to the real world, let's not go back there. But I have a very good suspicion based on like where they like preview the next episode and the OP, that they're going to keep going back and forth and like possibly introducing new characters and stuff. I'm just kind of not for that. So I don't have like high expectations for it, despite it giving me a very cozy vibe in this first episode. So that's why I'm like not like super on board to watch more. I'd say the OP was fine. 1 out of 2. Animation, I thought was a 3 out of 3. Like, I wouldn't say the fantasy world was anything special and stuff, but when they get into Japan, I really like the animation of the food and the city and the cherry blossoms. I don't know, it felt like it like upped its ante a little bit more for the second half of the episode, but could just me fangirling over Japan. I give it a 3 out of 3 anyway. And then my desire to continue is a 4 out of 5. Like I said, I really like the cozy vibes. I like this, but I don't think I will enjoy the direction it chooses to go in. But I could be wrong, so I'm like hesitantly interested in checking out more. Total, another 8 out of 10. That leads us into Tasokare Hotel. Probably butchering that. And apparently this is based on a game, which I only know that because I had to Google it because it wasn't on Crunchyroll. And I ended up watching it on YouTube. That's where it was. And that bit felt very early 2000s when I used to watch anime episodes on YouTube. At least I didn't have to watch it in 4 parts. Oh my god. Remember that? When there was like 1 of 4 and you'd like have to watch each episode in 4 parts. That was annoying. But yeah. So anyway, I watched this one on YouTube. I just found it on YouTube for free. Like, I don't know if it's illegally uploaded to YouTube or not, but for the meantime, anyway, that's where it was. I don't know. I ask no further questions on that because I was able to watch it. And I was pleasantly surprised. The premise, like going into it, was why I wanted to watch it, because it was giving these kind of death parade vibes where there's this world between the living and the dead, this limbo space, if you will. And I just really, really love that. I really love Death Parade. And well, this first episode, I'll actually give a spoiler. I did watch episode 2. So this is the second one that I watched on. And the second episode made me kind of feel like it's not gonna reach Death Parade heights. But I could still find this enjoyable, you know? It just, little choices it made, in my opinion, not to commit somewhat, held it back for me, but I'm not going to say anything because that's episode 2 and I'm not spoiling episode 2. But for episode 1, I enjoyed it. We are given this weird limbo world where you don't know if you are alive or you're dead, and you have to kind of sort through and remember things based on clues that the hotel gives you in your room. And this girl finds out her name, but then she decides she kind of just wants to help other people and stay and work in this hotel. So she kind of isn't interested in finding out if she's alive or dead, which is interesting. But I also get it because I'm also curious, and I'm like, yeah, I'd kind of want to like stay here for a little while. And she ends up like helping another hotel guest, so to speak, and discover her identity and if she's alive or dead. So yeah, again, I like the premise. I think the animation is really, really nice in this one, and everything overall was compelling and interesting. So yeah. I'd give the OP a 2 out of 2. I thought that it was a really nice OP. It gives it a little bit of intrigue and mystery vibes that really goes with the anime as a whole, and it's fun to watch as well, like aesthetically pleasing. The animation, 2 out of 3. There's some bits that I thought were really good, but some that were just okay. And then my desire to continue is obviously a 5 out of 5 because I did continue it and I watched episode 2 already. And that leaves us with a total of 9 out of 10. I know it gives it a pretty high rating and it's still in the might continue category. But that's because I wanted the ones that I definitely want to continue to like stand out. I'm just trying to differentiate that, you know? But it doesn't take away the fact that this was an enjoyable and different kind of anime. And next up, we have another really enjoyable anime. Like I said, the quality was pretty damn good overall across the board, like I have to say. And this one was Medalist. So this one I could only find on Hulu or Disney Plus if you have that Hulu subscription. So shout out to another friend that gave me her Disney Plus. You the best, because I could watch this on there. This one is automatically dubbed, and I didn't struggle to like find the subbed or anything. I don't care. It actually was a surprisingly good dub. I would say, like, I would continue to watch it in dub. I thought all the voices fit really well, and I liked it. So yeah. I also hate to admit that it made me cry, made me tear up. Oh, I just that struggle of like having a passion and your desire to like work so hard to follow your passion and your dream in life. It just right here gets me in the feels. She so earnestly wants to skate, and now her new coach by the end of this first episode really wants to make her a good skater and fulfill her dreams for her where he couldn't quite fulfill his. And yeah, it's just like that bittersweet, like sappy feeling, and I just yeah, I cried. I'm a big cry baby. But yeah, overall, this is just really sweet. I mean, ice skating is for me not really like a thing. My cousin's obsessed with Yuri on Ice, by the way, and I could not stop like hearing the OP in my head, and I'm just like, shut up, shut up. But yeah, so yeah, it's all about ice skating, and that's not like a huge interest of mine, but it was well written, so I could see wanting to watch and follow this young girl's journey. So yeah, OP 2 out of 2. It was really good. OP, I thought it was solid, super solid. Animation 3 out of 3. I thought it was really pretty. Their eyes especially spoke to me how beautiful and intense and descriptive and detailed they made their eyes. Just yeah, connected with me. And my desire to watch is like 4 out of 5. Like I said, the ice skating thing is not my bread and butter, so yeah, it leaves me with another 9 out of 10. Still not too shabby. All right, we are back to another romance with Okitsura. Fell in love with an Okinawan girl, but I just wish I knew what she was saying. This one had such a cute, fun rom-com vibe to it, and I already learned some new stuff from this. Like, I didn't know that Okinawa is kind of like Hawaii. How I understand it. Okay, let me preface this by how I understood what this anime was trying to tell me, because it was confusing when it would say its native language, but then it would say dialect at other times in the sub. So this could just be a my misinterpreting it, and it's just like a southern dialect, which sometimes is very hard for me to understand being a northerner girl, okay? So that could simply be what it was. Like, natives can speak their original language, and then Japanese as well. So then this tourist who's coming in, who moved to Okinawa, doesn't know what this native Okinawan girl is saying. That's how I'm taking it. But again, I could be mistaken, and it could just be an accent that he's not able to understand. But when I was listening to it, the words sounded completely different. But again, not Japanese speaker, so I am going off of the subs and my very basic understanding of what was going on in this episode. But anyway, it was teaching me new and interesting things about the culture of Okinawa, and I thought it was really fascinating, and it was all wrapped in a nice, cute little romance bow that was charming and cute, and the animation was adorable and pretty and colorful and just poppy and vibrant. Just yeah, overall it was really nice. Like, I would say this would be my pick for best romance. I'll get to that later. Yeah, I just overall across the board, I'd say this one was the one romance I would most likely continue watching. However, we always have to have a little caveat. There's a love triangle in here. And I am not the biggest fan of a love triangle. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. Like, I like both of the girls, so it's kind of this awkward situation where he likes this girl, but this girl likes him. And yeah, I always feel so bad and sad. It just gives me mixed feelings. Like, I can't just be like, oh, so cute, so silly, happy, happy romance, which is what I thought going into it. But then when it's revealed that her friend, who's kind of interpreting the Okinawan dialect to him, and she reveals, you know, in her head, but to us, that she's doing it so she can have more to say with him. because she has a crush on him. It's like, oh no, love triangle, ooh. So, yeah, I liked everything about it except for that. Because I always feel bad. Like, I don't know, I just don't like that. I'm a very idealistic romance lover, okay? But anyway, despite that, still really enjoyed it. I still have a desire where I might continue watching it. But yeah, the OP was a really fun jam. I give it 2 out of 2 for its just cute and boppiness. And I'd also give the animation a 3 out of 3. I thought the animation was, like I said, very colorful, very vibrant, very just so pretty. Like it just makes me want to visit Okinawa. It looks gorgeous. Like obviously it's animated, but like you know what I mean. And yeah, but my desire to watch more, it's a 4 out of 5 because of that love triangle. Otherwise I think it would have gotten a 5 out of 5 for me. Yeah, it's just that's not my trope. That's not my trope. But yeah, 9 out of 10, still not too shabby. Moving on, we have Zenshu. So this is the new anime by MAPPA. And I mean, it's by MAPPA, so the animation is looking pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie. It's gorgeous. And we have yet another isekai. Yeah, like I said, it's either isekai or it's a romance this year, I swear to God. However, I do like that, like Welcome to Japan, Miss Elf. This has a bit of a twist to it, that this animator gets isekai into her favorite movie and is given the OP ability to essentially rewrite it and seemingly to give it a happy ending because it's more of a tragic kind of movie. So it gives that ultimate weeb energy. Like that would be what all of us like that have loved a work of fiction would want to do. Like with me in Attack on Titan, I would love to make some changes on that bitch. Like, isn't it an amazing, tragic, depressing masterpiece in my mind? Yes, but would I, if put in there and given this OP ability, change it so my babies don't have to die and nobody, or at least not as many people, have to suffer? Yes. So I'm really interested though to see how this plays out and how it changes the trajectory of this movie's blueprint and everything. So I thought that was interesting. It was like an interesting take on an isekai, a little twist to an isekai. And I think the animator's interesting. She's got an interesting personality, and I'm curious to learn more about her as well. So yeah, overall, my interest was piqued, I think you could say. 2 out of 2 OP, had a really boppin'. Why do I keep saying boppin'? Oh my god, is that my word today? Okay, I'm gonna think of another word. It had a really jazzy. I'm so old, boppin' and jazzy. Oh my god. But it had a really like fun jazzy OP. Animation, 3 out of 3, gotta hand it to them. I mean, I'm not their biggest fan, but I still think their animation is solid and really nice to look at. My desire to keep watching is a 4 out of 5. Again, not so up there to watch, but like I could see myself continuing it. And that leads us to our very final entry in this category, the one that just missed it by a hair to be in the definitely continuing watching category. And that really isn't its fault. Okay, it's the fucking streaming service it's on. And that is Ubelblatt. And it can be found on Amazon Prime. I have a lot of subscriptions, okay? Thanks to lovely friends, and also that I pay for. And I don't freaking have Amazon Prime, okay? Okay, I, at the 11th hour, realized I was going someplace, and that place this weekend had Amazon Prime. So I just lucked out and was able to watch it. I actually watched the first 2 episodes of this one, and I thought it was really good. I really do. I really want to continue watching it. I want to put it in that category. It could have even made my top 3. That's how much I was into it, which surprised me, but I'll get into in a second. But yeah, just because it's Amazon, and I don't know. I never know with these streaming services if they are even going to release them on DVD eventually, because a lot of the like movies that go on there don't get released, or it takes forever to release them. But fingers crossed that this one does get like a DVD treatment and I can like buy the DVD series, the season, whatever. Because I would. Like, I definitely would. Or I can find it somewhere else. Shh, don't tell where I may find it. I don't know. To continue watching it. But yeah, I was really surprised though that I liked it that much, because I do remember that I used to own the original printing of 0 and 1. So it starts at 0, but I think that's a prequel. I think I only read 0, to be honest, and I'm not sure if the anime starts at the prequel or starts at 1. I probably should have looked that up. But anyway, the point is, it's really good. Like, it's a very like dark fantasy concept, and the animation is really gorgeous, like really, really nice. And action scenes were really badass. Like, it was giving. And yeah, I mean, the whole thing starts off with like this huge betrayal by these 7 quote unquote heroes who betray other people in their group and go on to be called heroes. And this guy is out for revenge. I'm not really going to go into details about it because that gives things away. They're pretty vague about it, but like I suspected by the first episode, but it's very clearly spelled out for you by the second episode. Just, so I'm not like giving you like anything you wouldn't find out very soon. But anyway, like, it's a story of revenge on these noble heroes, these heroes of legend. Like, it gives me that feeling I want right now, which is to take down the fucking lying shitbags that prop themselves up as these martyrs and these great men. Just rip their heads off. It's giving that energy. I'm loving that energy. I'm wanting that energy. So yeah, I think it just came at the perfect time where I want blood and revenge and death and no mercy and just fuck them all up vibes. Yeah. So I got very dark there, but this one's very dark premise, very bloody, yeah, but I am enjoying it. I like I said, I watched the first 2 episodes and I wish there was more episodes because I would have watched more episodes, but this past weekend when I was able to use their Amazon Prime, there was only 2 episodes out, sadly. But yeah, anyway, I thought it only scratched the surface of the world building in this one and gave us like the littlest taste of it, and I'm excited to continue it. I don't know when that will be because, again, Amazon Prime. I might be tempted to pick up the manga though, because they have reprinted it in these like hardcover editions, so I might do that. But yeah, I really liked it. I'd say the OP was a 1 out of 2 for me. Nothing great. Animation though, 3 out of 3. I thought that animation was fire, especially the like moon visuals. Oh my god, so nice. And yeah, my desire to continue is definitely a 5 out of 5. Like, I would love to continue it. It's just Amazon. So yeah, overall we got a 9 out of 10, which leads us to the anime at the top of the top, the cream of the crop, if you may. If I may, I guess. I definitely will continue these category. These are my favorite anime that I watched. The only other exception being Ubo Blatt, which I debated putting in this category. But moving right along, we have I may be a guild receptionist, but I'll solo any boss to clock out on time. I mean, are we surprised that it's on my list of I definitely want to continue these? Because if you've watched any of my manga content, you might remember this little title coming up and me raving about how much I was enjoying it. So seeing it animated was just, a blast. My girl Alina, she just wants an easy job. She values her time and she values like the benefits of her job. And she really, really hates when there's this hard boss that none of these adventurers can seem to knock off, and she's stuck doing overtime and cuts in on all her extracurriculars that she wants to enjoy after work. So what does she do? She has to go kill that monster herself. She's such a badass. She's such an OP badass, and I absolutely love it. I really liked what the manga was doing, but the manga is taking a long ass time coming out, so I'm really excited. I'm hoping that we get a little bit further in the anime and so I can see a little bit of where we're headed. I know I could pick up the light novel, but I have enough light novels at the moment. I shouldn't be getting more, but it's tempting. I would say the weakest part to me was the animation on the dragon boss that she bops. Stop it with the bob, Zoe. Oh my god. That she whacks in this first episode. I would guess it would be was 3D. That's my guess anyway. It didn't fit for me with the rest of the animation, and it was okay because it was like the enemy boss, so I guess it could look a little different, but I don't know, just it didn't give me as clean of a animation style as everything else was, and it was a little jarring, but only a little. Otherwise, the animation was good in my opinion. I just love seeing my girl animated. I love seeing her found out in this first episode and just wanting to take care of this guy who finds out her secret. And yeah, she's funny, she's quirky, she's an enjoyable, relatable, in my opinion, protagonist. And she's super OP. What's not to love? I'd give it 1 out of 2 for the OP, but I had to add an extra point for the ending. The ending was so cute. Like, oh my god. Usually endings are like wah, wah, to me, like not much, not interested. Skip. But every once in a while you'll get either a really like sad, melancholic, like touching ending, or you'll get a fun little ditty like this one. And it was just so adorable. Yeah, the animation, I had to deduct a point for that dragon. I was not feeling it, but overall 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Super solid. And my desire to keep watching is of course a 5 out of 5, giving us a total of 9 out of 10. And that leads us to what I consider to be my top 3. The ones that got a solid 10 out of 10, A's in every category, if you will. And yeah, there were some like surprising ones in this, I have to say. So number 3, we have one that I honestly like. I put this one in here as kind of a offhanded one, kind of like the Promise of Wizard one where there was a lot of cute boys. This one had a lot of cute girls, so I was like, hey, cute girls doing cute girl things and some action, sign me up. But yeah, this one did not disappoint like the other one, and that's Momentary Lily. So I had pretty low expectations going in for this one, but damn, it surprised me how much I enjoyed watching it. Like I said, there was definitely cute girls doing cute girl shit. Little like cooking segment was so fucking adorable, and I just hope we get more of that. But the action was also just as like fun and inventive and interesting. So yeah, we alternate between cute girls doing cute things and fighting giant alien beings who have annihilated the rest of the human population. So we're like in a weird future void of really any other humans besides these girls. And it's just like, what are these aliens? Where do they come from? Why are they doing this? Like, there's so many mysteries and questions, but at the heart of it are these like just these cute girls and their interactions. And yeah, I don't know, it struck a really good balance in this first episode. I'm nervous, I guess. That's why it's number 3. I'm the most nervous to see where this one goes, because I think it could either be really, really good in straddling a fun yet chaotic, cute yet emotional tone throughout the season, or it could fall flat on its face. There is that chance. I don't know if anyone else is watching Momentary Lily, but if you did check it out, let me know what your thoughts were, because I liked it. I thought the animation was really nice. It was a bit unusual, the hair movements in certain things, but I liked how stylized and how much it stands out. That's what I look for in animation. Like, if the animation like really stands out to me, then I just appreciate it more. Like I said, I like the animated battle scenes, and I thought the girls were cute. I mean, how many times can I say that? But yeah, the animation was unique. It gave it a unique vibe. And oh my god, that OP was not what I was expecting. It is like the hardcore, like a rap screamo type vibe. But I really enjoyed it. Like, I listened to it again afterwards, and I was like, yes, just like it fits. Like, it's so off the wall. It's so unexpected, and yet all these like seemingly separate things go together and work really nicely to make it an enjoyable ride. So yeah, OP 2 out of 2, animation 3 out of 3, my desire to continue watching a 5 out of 5, leaving us with that perfect 10 out of 10 score. But like I said, this was number 3 out of my top 3. So moving on to number 2. Number 2 was Simply Sweet, and that's Flower and Asura. So again, this was one I couldn't find on Crunchyroll. I ended up just Googling it, and again found it on this Daily Motion video player. I don't know, okay? I don't know. All I know is I was able to watch it and I was happy. But yeah, first I have to say, I really like these kind of, well, I already kind of mentioned it with Medalist, but those like coming into your own, following your passions, discovering your dreams, fighting for your dreams type of premises. This one's taking place in high school, so it's also giving you a kind of coming of age vibe as well. And I just really like those two things, okay? I do. I usually do. There are a few cases that I don't, but in general, I do. And so, yeah, this just strikes the balance of like really sweet and hopeful energy of this girl discovering a dream and wanting to pursue it and deciding to pursue it and do something for herself, and a really like quirky cast of characters that I can see forming, like our president, or I don't know if she's the president, but the girl that has dedicated herself to enlisting this new girl into the broadcasting club. She's a bit quirky, and I can just see that the rest of the cast is probably going to be a quirky little club of friends. And yeah, so I really like that like combo. If that is the case, I have only watched the first episode. This was one I watched more towards the beginning, so either there was only one episode out for a lot of the ones I watched in the beginning of these anime, or I just was so focused on I need to watch so many more anime, I can't watch the next episode. Whereas like as I went on, I was like, oh, I could spare a moment. But yeah, I have high hopes for this one. I thought it had that really classic, I guess I would like compare it to like movie style animation, where it just gives you those like really nice detailed textured look at objects. Like you see like a close-up of a railing with the rust on it, and the curtains with the folds and the texture. Like, it just does a really good job of animating everything. The opening, super cute, 2 out of 2, just gives you those very youthful, sweet vibes. the animation I've already gushed about. It's 3 out of 3 for me. And my desire to continue watching, 5 out of 5. So yeah, 10 out of 10. And that leads us to my number 1. And I really don't think a lot of people will be probably surprised. Because if it hasn't come up yet, you're like, I'm guessing it's that. But yeah, without further ado, my number 1 is Sakamoto Days. Yup. And this one, I watched it on Netflix, a streaming service I do have, yay. Luckily. And I did end up watching 2 episodes. Like I said, this was one I watched later on. And so I did get to watch 2 episodes because 2 episodes are currently out. I think by the time this video goes up, 3 will be out, so yay. But yeah, I don't like having to like wait and watch episodes like this usually, but for something like Sakamoto Days, I could see myself tuning in. I think they drop every Tuesday, but I could see myself like watching one every week. It's just, it's giving great action, just like imaginative, amazing choreographed action pieces with the just the most charming comedy and just offhandedness and quirkiness, and it's charming. It charmed me over, okay? I have to say, I kept putting off picking up the Sakamoto Days manga, and I'm almost kind of glad I did, because it's giving me a Gintama vibe where I will probably enjoy the manga, but I think animated, it will just be mwah, so much better. I just, oh my god, those action scenes coming to life. He grabs the bullets with his chopsticks. I mean, like, can't make that shit up. That's, well, somebody did, clearly. But like, that's just like really creative. And I love when fights get creative and out of the box and are so dynamic to look at. Like, it was fun. It was a fun time. Sakamoto is funny. He doesn't have a lot to say, but damn, what he does say is either really heartfelt or really fucking funny. And him constantly killing Shin in his mind because Shin's a psychic, it's amazing. I love it. It's so cute. I mean, they are literally forming a Yorizuya. Like, we've just gotten a China girl. Like, do you see what I'm talking about? Okay, if you haven't watched Gintama, you do not see what I'm talking about. Kagura is the same as this girl that was just introduced. Shin is Shinpachi. And Sakamoto is Ginjan. It is a 3 for 3 right now. I do know that they're going to introduce more characters based on that OP. And I'm excited to be introduced to more characters in this wacky, weird world. Yeah, I don't think I felt as excited over something like this since I got into Gintama, that like I just get that energy that it will tread that line between action and comedy so well. And yeah, it made me laugh out loud. It was just such sweet, heartfelt moments. And then just such off the wall wacky shenanigans. And I really like when a piece of media can give me a really good combination of those two things. It pleases me so. But yeah, I can't say enough good things about it. I think if you do have Netflix, you should check it out. Unfortunately, it's kind of like the Ubo Blatt situation. If you don't, kind of sucks, because who knows. I do think Psalm 100 is coming out on DVD, so it makes me feel like Netflix isn't gatekeeping their anime, but you never know with them. You never know. But yeah, I will definitely continue watching it. I'm excited to continue watching it. And yeah, obviously 2 out of 2 OP, 3 out of 3 animation. The action, man, the action is just animated so nicely. And a 5 out of 5. I want to continue watching this. It's a 10 out of 10 for me, baby. So good, so good. And yeah, let me know down below, comment what your favorite new anime of 2025 is if you've started watching any of these or any one that I didn't mention, because I know that there were some I didn't watch. I tried to watch every single first episode of every single new season, like first season of 2025 releases. I still didn't even do that, I don't think. So yeah, there's just so many. Or any continuing anime that you're watching the second or third season of. Like I said, really want to watch Apothecary Diaries season 2. But yeah, I am super excited to hear your thoughts and what you're looking forward to watching more of in this new 2025 winter season. Or let me know what anime that I went over looked the most appealing to you, and you might now consider go watching it, because that would be really cool to hear as well. But yeah, before I end this video, I'm just gonna give out some awards. I just thought a little award show at the end would be fun. There's a minor earthquake happening because of my cat. Say hi. You want to be part of the award show? You can't push on mommy's tripod. Yeah, you can't do that, because then the whole thing moves. She does not like being trapped into my embrace of love. She does not love my love. You don't love my love. Okay. Oh, the awards. Best of Romance, Okitsura. For sure, I really loved everything about it, except for that little love triangle. It's just not a trope that I enjoy, but I'm willing to give it a chance because I did like both girls and thought the main character was cute with both of them. So whichever way it plays, maybe I'll be okay with it. I don't know. Runner-up would have to be I'm Getting Married to the Girl I Hate. It was just so funny, and there was something so charming and early 2000s about it that I just can't stop thinking about it, I gotta be honest. So yeah. Then we have Most Promising Isekai. So I definitely have to give it to Zenshu. I think it's got a really interesting and, of course, beautifully animated first episode. So I think it has a lot of promise of being a interesting isekai. Runners up, and I said runners, yes, would be Welcome to Japan, Miss Elf, because it could be good, it could be cute. I need to give it a little more chance before making my final decision on whether I'm not a fan of the jumping between the fantasy world and the real world, because it could turn out better than I thought. And also, possibly the greatest alchemist of all time. I think there's something charming about it and something very cozy. So yeah, even though it's a very cliched isekai premise, I could also see it being pretty good. Then we have favorite OP. I really loved Momentary Lily's OP, okay? Okay, I don't know if it's just my like 2010s screamo goth girlish vibes coming out, but like everyone I knew went through a screamo phase around 2010. I swear it was all around me, so I kind of got into it, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, it was so unexpected, but really enjoyable. Runner-up would be I'm Getting Married to the Girl I Hate. I just think it's so fun and poppy, but also like tells a story within the OP. And I really like OPs that do that. Like, I think either you have to be a very catchy song OP, or you have to really play into the themes and the promise of what your anime is going to be about and give you that little dose in the opening. Best animation, I have to give it to Ubelblatt. There are so many moments from the anime that I could just like pause it, print that little still out, and like just stare at it. And that to me is like the marker of a great animation, because it's just so enjoyable to look at. Like, there are just so many shots of Ubelblatt. Yeah, the action, but especially the moon shots, the landscapes, the just character designs, like everything was hitting for me. And it's the animation that stuck most in my mind, we'll say. So I've got to give it the award. Runners up would definitely be Flower and Ashura. I already gushed about it, but yeah, the attention to detail was just mwah, immaculate. I loved it. No notes. It's so good. And Zenshu, I thought that had a really, really detailed and enjoyable animation style. So yeah, those would be my runners up. And then my overall favorite, most promising anime, that one I have to give to Sakamoto Days. It is just fun. It's just freaking fun. And I love an anime that's fun, but that also gives you that heart, and that also gives you those action moments that it keeps you wanting to watch more, because there's just so much going on. And if it keeps adding these likable characters to their cast, then I'm sold. Like, I am. But yeah, runner up would definitely be Ubo Blatt. I wish I had Amazon Prime just to watch more of Ubo Blatt, because it was really good. It was so dark and angsty, and I want to watch more of it. And yeah, those are the award ceremony. If you watched all the way to this part, then thank you very much. And if you like this video, please do not forget to hit that thumbs up button. I just really appreciate it. If you would do that, it would be ever so wonderful. It would help me and my channel. And yeah, let me know if you are enjoying Weeb Wednesdays as much as I am. This video was super long, but I watched so many anime, and so many of them were actually really enjoyable. So it was hard not to say more than, a brief thing about them. It just, yeah, not that I wish more were bad or anything, but yeah, it made for a long video. I do apologize, but I hope you enjoyed nonetheless. And until next time, bye!